On Vikings and Gungahlin Eagles. Round 13, unlucky for some. Fortune has certainly favoured the Eagles in this matchup this year, beating the Vikings in round one in stunning fashion before backing that up in May here at Nichols. Tuggeranong, much improved side since then, ripping off 5 wins on the bounce. So you can bet they'll fancy their chances here today. I'm joined in the commentary box today by plus 500 Bunbury's tight head prop, but today Gungahlin Eagles stalwart Tom Ross. Big Red, how are you, mate?
Yeah, pretty good. Looking forward to today's action.
Mate, it's going to be a massive game today. Obviously, 2 of the best sides in the competition, 2 of that top 3. Just fascinating battles across the park. What are some of the key areas you think for both sides today?
Well, obviously, myself being in the front row, I think it's going to be a good tussle between, the Dobsons, and then obviously Sione Towers. Yeah, fronted up for Tuggeranong this year. He's played some good footy.
Well, Sione seemed to be stepping away from the first grade action at the start of the year, but as it often is, gets dragged back in, and he's playing tight head today, Rossi. So that's going to be a bit of a change for him there, isn't it, with Ben Pratt?
Yeah, I was speaking to him earlier, and he said it's one of the first times he's ever played tight head. So I'm keen to see how he goes, but he's always strong in that front row area, so I'm keen to see how he goes.
So as a fellow tight head, what are some of the things he's going to just have to bear down and do his best there with going up against 2 of the best props in the competition in Ray and Nick Dobson? Yeah,
well, Ray's strong. He likes to get a good body height under the tight head there. So
certainly likes to attack.
Yeah,
as a loose head, doesn't he?
Yes, and Sione, I think if he's going to counteract that height issue, I think he's going to have to realign himself and really try change things up a bit today.
Absolutely. So we'll run you down through the sides. In that front row for the visiting team, Ben Pratt, Sam Thomas, Sione Towler forming that front row, a new look front row for Tuggeranong Vikings. And in the rows, Jack Wright, Jamie Field, another different combination there in the locks for the visitors here today. In the back row, Thomas Wattago starting at 6 with Luke Gerzikowski and Angus Allen likely to be heavily featured for the Vikings at Nichols here today. Moving to the halfbacks, Ryan Lonergan, partners Jack Evening. Evening slipping into fly half. A number of players have, of course, played fly half for Tuggeranong. Evening the latest today, so he'll have a big job to get this Viking backline moving with Max Ravuvu and Joe Langtree on the wings. Trey Henderson, Lenny Kitav, the danger man there at 13, and Ernest Suavai at fullback. Moving to the home side as we wait for the arrival of both sides. Bit of mind games here early, with neither team wanting to make the first move out into the park. We said before, the brothers Ray and Nick Dobson at loose head and tight head for the Gungahlin Eagles, and in the middle between them two, Alex Small in career form is the Gungahlin Eagles rake. Skippering the side today, of course, in the absence of Josh Gillard. In the locks, 2 newcomers to the Gungahlin Eagles this year, Tristan Stanley, Levi Shaw, certainly have made their mark on the Eagles in 2019. And in the back row, JP Fanukitau starts at blind side as we see Vikings coming off the field, led by Ryan Lonergan here today. Saying not at full strength, the Vikings today, but still so much quality in that side. And now here come the Eagles, led out by Alex Small and followed by Matt Hawke. He'll have a big job today as we move through the rest of the Eagles side with, as we said, JP Fanukitau going up blindside with Tane Atkins, Simon Anu, 2 dynamic players there in the back row. That's going to be a fascinating battle between Atkins and Gerzikowski. In the halfbacks, Joel Atkins and Isaac Walker look to move around the likes of Jamie Cotts, Corey Toole playing out wide for Eagles with Matt Hawke, Luke Duffy in the centres, and Dan Garner starts at fullback today, coming in to the side with Mac Hansen unavailable in Argentina. There's a couple of unavailabilities with the Brumbies in action that semi-final this morning. Angus Wagner, a big loss. We go back to there's going to be a lot of front row talk here today, I can assure you. In from Nichols with Big Red Tom Ross. Wags, mate, a teammate of yours at Brums, but a really big loss here for this Viking side, isn't he?
Yeah, at the same time, he's been working his ass off, so it's good to see him get some rewards and take a trip across the sea to watch the Argentina game.
Yeah. As you see, Simon Anu bring us underway here with the first carry of the game. The Eagles start as they have all year, moving forward, and Shaw finds a little half gap. Everything moving forward early here for Eagles, and Walker looks to play the football in the right areas, but easily taken there by Langtree. And there's Suavai. He looks up and looks to play a bit of territory as well. Suavai playing at fullback today. Probably best known for scoring tries out wide, but he'll have a different role there at fullback. As you see, it was Evan putting on a little bit of focus. Pratt bumps back to Suavai there. He's stepping in at first receiver. Ikitau on Dobson. Little chip from Len Ikitau, and Stanley just can't hold on. So advantage coming. It's been called over now, but it was advantage coming for knock on. That's a penalty for Gungahlin. Cheap there from Vikings, letting Eagles out when the pressure was definitely coming on there. Tom.
Yeah, well, it was good pressure from the Vikings there because that little bump out the back really opened up the Gungahlin defence, and I think they'll look to go out the back a bit more today.
I tell you what, Rossi, not to cut across, but Isaac Walker's just gone 22 to 22. Perfect banana kick, and he's given Eagles a line out all the way down in Vikings territory.
Yeah, he's got a good boot on him.
Okay, first of a couple of understatements, I reckon, today from Tom Ross. Isaac Walker with perhaps the best boot in the John Oden Cup. He ball screams off that right foot, and that was a bit of touch on that one, Rossi. Just to put the fade on it. Yeah. Got the angles right, and
he's been practicing since he was like 12, so he's been able to kick it that far for a long time. So
unfortunately, his forwards couldn't back him up there.
Yeah,
that's a rare mistake from Alex Small. As we said, he's in career best form this year, Smalley. You've obviously kind of learned from him, I suppose, as one of the younger guys coming into a side where Alex Small would be one of the big leaders in the club. Just as I suppose on the field, what have you learned, and off the field, what do you learn from a guy like that?
From Smalley, he
definitely set standards.
Yeah, I think so. And on the field, he loves to bark boys around the park and lead by example with big hits and things like that. And then off the park, he's a good communicator and likes to get around the boys. Definitely
a standard setter at Gungahlin Eagles, Alex Small, but on the park, one of the best players in the competition this year. As you see, Corey Toole, another one of those players who's been a standout in 2019. Cots finds the safety valve in Matt Hawke, and he gets Eagles moving the right way, and Dobson. It's on a bit of footwork, does Nick Dobson. Stepping in for my co-commentator here today at tight head, Nick Dobson. A like-for-like replacement there in Dobson, obviously one of the most experienced tight heads going around in the competition. Simon Anu. A couple of good carries from Simon Anu so far here. There's Small. Great defensive line from Vikings. Eagles not really getting much purchase so far out of their attacks, and Atkins just gives it off to Dobson flat-footed, and he's done well just to give his support there. Time to rally around as we see Atkins go a bit wider now to Hawke. Hawke bumps off to Garner. That's a good chick. He's got to be kept outside. The bounce is caught. Corey Toole will score the first try for Gungahlin Eagles. Well, it just opened up for Toole there, and Garner. Nice little chip and chase from Garner and Corey Toole.
Yeah,
rapid.
I think the boys, they play with a bit of patience there. They easily could have been flustered by the rushing Tuggeranong defence, but good bit of patience, and the points come out wide.
Absolutely. It kind of it seemed, where's the cover defence? Because he made that little half break, Garner, and the chip was perfect, though, wasn't it? The ball just bobbled up nicely for Corey Toole. Certainly knows his way to the try line, does Corey Toole. Scored a not too small sum of them so far. Corey Toole in his first season in senior rugby as well. And for a guy like that, Rossi, coming in from Darramallen, the old stomping ground, coming to a club where obviously he's going to be at home here at Gungahlin, but coming into a side with a lot of experienced guys, it's amazing to see guys like that step up these days.
Yeah.
Thinking of likes of Corey Till, Joel Atkins, Roy Scott at Royals, guys like this who step up as we see Walker convert the try, making it 7-0 here early to Eagles. But yeah, guys coming straight out of school, stepping up to first grade. It doesn't happen a lot, but it seems to be happening more.
I think there's a lot of physicality that goes through the boys, coming through those school ages, and definitely a credit to those development programs that are building boys for first grade, and obviously they're stepping up when they get given the chance.
And credit to Marco Caputo for giving guys the chance, and Wayne South Wales Royals, just a couple of names straight from the school system here in Canberra and into John O'Dane Cup first grade and excelling at first grade. Siravuvu, well met by Ray Dobson. Massive tackle there from Ray Dobson, and he's backed it up with a turnover. Great work there from the Lucy. You see, Eagles back on attack now. 7-0 to the good here, early doors. Vikings defence was excellent, as we said, before that little half gap for Garner, and gave him the chance to release Toole down the left-hand side. So for Vikings here, Tom, you think kind of gave one there, kind of gave one away. So they've just got to trust their shape here, don't they? Knowing that they were reasonably good there defensively for 10 phases or so.
Yeah, and they're that kind of side too. They build pressure in their defence. They wouldn't be too down by that first score. I think they'll just go back to their systems and trust what they do best.
It's interesting to see out there who are the guys in that side who are going to step up in the absence of Jordan Jackson Hope, in the absence of Isaac Thompson. Look to Ryan Lonergan there, who led out the side, just to be really vocal, and he's developed, hasn't he, this year as a leader, has Ryan Lonergan?
Yeah, absolutely. And
you're captain at junior Wallaby level as well.
He's captained some big sides over the last 2 or 3 years, so I wouldn't put it past him as a leader.
Absolutely not, and it's good defence there from Evanen. He's forced a turnover, so again, great work from Vikings. They look comfortable in defence. Eagles definitely starting hot here, but Vikings not looking too bothered in defence, so far. As we said about Lonergan Hill, it's a role, I suppose, that he'll take on, as you said, knowing that he can do it. But in this side, normally he probably would take that half step back to the likes of Thompson, to the likes of Jordan Jackson Hope. So yeah, as you said, he's an experienced leader and someone who has done it before. What makes him a good captain?
I think he makes it easier to come up and approach him, and he wants the best from every player in the side. And I've played a lot of footy with Ryan, and when he's on the park, you can put 100% trust in him and his game, and the way he plays, he's all for the team, and I think that's why he's excelled as a leader and probably will excel further in his career.
Absolutely, it's a matter of time thing for Ryan Lonergan. We've seen at the top level this year making strides as a Brumby, and wouldn't be too far down the list of McDougall medal points so far in the John O'Dane Cup, the Griffin Legal John O'Dane Cup.
He can fly the trial line, I'll tell you that.
He's on top of both lists at the moment. I think he's near the top of both lists. Him and Pedro Orlando, straight shot the two generals there at halfback.
Yeah.
And a good exit from Vikings. They'll want to just settle this down. In the times they've been attacking so far, they're just overplaying their hand. Need to start building the phases. Do the champions. Coming into Eagles' home ground where they've
good ball
been
here.
Absolutely excellent. That's a great set from Eagles, and they'll start to slow down now. Ball available for Atkins if he wishes, and goes to Walker, and that's a great line from Hawke. Needs to support Matt Hawke, and he's got Toole. Oh, excellent work from Max Ravuvu. How did he get back here? Now they can counter-attack here, Vikings. Henderson. Max Ravuvu, how did he do that? Tackle on the feet and turnover.
Pretty good skills from a winger.
So he saved a certain 7 points there, has Max Ravuvu. How about the line from Matt Hall? Found a seam and went straight through, and that's
Not what he wanted.
That's going to end up where he kicked it from Suavai. Didn't get a hold of all that. It'll be a line out for Eagles. Yeah, Max Ravuvu. As good as the line was from Matt Hawk.
Yeah, that was Hooper-esque.
Hooper-esque.
You'd say. Yeah.
Well, it was questionable whether the tackle might have been slightly high, but once he got to Grant, just straight to the feet. Didn't even look to just place the hands in the areas a lot of people tend to do. Just went for the ball.
Yeah, and turnover ball straight into attack. It was good to watch.
Coming into the first grade side, as I say, a lot of names missing out there for Vikings. Still so dangerous, still so much quality out there. As the Eagles go straight to the bomb. And excellent from Langtree to take the test, and he's gone, Langtree. Bit of space for Joe Langtree, and he's given it to Allen. Angus Allen, good offload to his back row partner, Grzikowski. Slow ball for Lonigan, but now they go forward. Ravuvu tried to get the hands through. Just couldn't get it now. Eagles counter-attack through cuts. It's a full race for the ball. Oh, he just needed another metre of Mickles oval. Did Jamie Cotts have it? The skill of Jamie Cotts down the touchline, Rossi.
Well, there's a lot of speed out there today. We're looking at Cottsy, Tooley, Ravuvu, and even Ikitau in the centres. It's going to be plenty of foot races today, I think.
And in games like that, especially big games like this, it can be like we saw there. Max Ravuvu on the attack, tried to free the hands. Ball goes to deck, and Jamie Cotts can be under for 7. So both sides have just got to play smarter football when you know that there's pace on both sides. If you make a mistake, you can score from anywhere.
And later on, you could probably see things start to open up.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of hit-ups being taken, a lot of energy taken out of the boys. But, I think back end of the second half will start to open up.
More stat defence from Vikings. Feature of their game so far, that defensive lines. We see the show and go from Zioni Taylor. Evenden gets his lines crossed with big Jack Wright. Not one for the high right reel for either player there. I see Jack Wright just getting his wires mixed up there at the big lock. He's been excellent though since he's come into the side as Jack Wright, coming up from Colts grade where, probably comfortable physically with the level he's playing and around guys, his age, and you come into first grade and he's started every game since he's come up, but he's done really well. So for guys like that, I suppose you kind of experienced that this year with your first real taste of first grade rugby. You would have played some last year, but consistently playing first grade, that physical step up for guys, it is a thing, isn't it? It's not like you can say some things are talking points, some things are real. The step up physically from Colts to first grade is substantial, isn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. And I think a guy like Jack Wright, he's been trained under the likes of Darcy Swain, and I think that's definitely helped his development. But physicality wise, it's a big step up.
Had a chat to him before the game, and he just said it's just the little things. Just there's an extra bruise on your shin. You bruise on my shin. That wouldn't have happened in Colts. No. little things in you. But he's dealing with them, and he was excellent in his run on debut in that massive win for Royals, 54-17. A couple of wins back. Their statement win of the season so far was Jack Wright, and he's certainly shaked off that little blunder earlier on as Walker does well to retain possession for the Eagles. Big Sam Thomas tried to shift him, but strong from Walker. As Atkins looks to Small. He settles things down for his side. Does Small, works the feet in contact well as Hawk tries to find a little half gap. Feed runners on his shoulders there, Hawk. Eagles could have been away again as we see the long looper from JP Fanukitau. Certainly sensed a bit of space out there, did Fanukitau, but probably better just to play direct. You see Walker sensing the steam out of the attack might have just been taken out, but talk about steam, put a bit too much on that kick. To say he's got a big boot, walks, but can hurt him there, and it certainly did that time.
Yeah, and sometimes it just doesn't pay off for you.
Certainly the right option, wasn't it? Looking for the space in behind.
I think he would have liked a bit more angle on that one, looking for the touch line, but what would I know? I'm a front row, so. But, I mean.
When was the first time you kicked in a game and
your
coach after said, Tom, you don't kick?
Oh, geez, it must have been like under 12s, little chip and chase or something like that. And, I think it landed right in their lap, and I think they stopped the play after, or scrum or penalty. They sent out a runner and said, yeah, Tom, that's not your job. You'll be sitting next to the coach if you keep doing that.
So far, that's a great scrum from Vikings, but the ball slipped out. Messages doesn't come from the ARs here. Questionable whether Finucchi put his hand into that scrum. Certainly was an excellent shove from Vikings.
Certainly got away with that.
Definitely got. I was trying to be diplomatic. It was a definite penalty there. You could tell by the look on Finucchi's face as well. He looked right to the referee, didn't get the call.
Yeah, he wasn't 100% sure about it.
I think he might have thought that the arm was going to be put up, but as it was, no call. And Eagles will get a line out now. Scrappy so far. Both sides showing some nice flashes, but neither team able to work multiple phases and get purchased. So Vikings look dangerous, but not holding onto the ball, and then Eagles holding the ball well, but kind of not really going anywhere with it.
Yeah, I think they're both trying to flex a bit of muscle, but not every time it's going to pay off. As I said, they'll start to stick later in the game, but a lot of pressure on here.
Another show and go from Towler, and he bumps off Stanley.
He's been good today, Sione.
He has had a few flashes there. Playing it tight, as we say, now Suvai. Oh, what a tackle from Hawk, but the offload from Suvai is excellent to Ikitau. Lonergan met in a big tackle, unsighted from Ray Dobson, but advantage coming for Vikings, so they look to play wide early. Nothing coming, so we'll come back for the penalty. Ray Dobson hitting for a high shot there from Brody Ingram. He's not happy with it. Ray Dobson, I don't think he's ever been happy with a refereeing decision. No,
never.
Yeah, you mentioned Sione Taylor there. That scrum looked pretty good as well for Vikings on that. As we said before, we won't harp on it, Rossi, but we do have you in the box, so we'll ask you. A loose head of his experience being asked to switch across the tight end. Now, a lot of people at home would say prop's a prop, is a prop, is a prop, but it's not really the case, is it?
Well, definitely not. I've been asked a couple of times whether I can stick my head at loose head, but you kind of get set in your ways.
What are the differences? Because a lot of people talk about foot placement and that kind of thing. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
so we see the Vikings launch a maul attack here.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. I think you need a bit more support from you guys behind in at tight head, because you're going up against the hooker and the loose head there.
Speaking of hookers, Sam Thomas going close to the line now. Advantage coming for Vikings. Free shot for Lonergan if he wishes to go wide, but they'll keep it in tight. That's Towler. Still playing advantage for Vikings. They go again through Thomas. Is he over?
They're confident.
Held up. Penalty coming, as we say so. Interesting decision here for Vikings. Scrum looked okay first one, but I imagine they'll go to the line they do through Lonergan. Certainly the set on that maul was good. Eagles did well to just keep it out. From our view here, Sam Thomas seemed to be in for that try, but managed to hold them up to the Eagles. So good defensive work from the home side.
I'm interested to see how this maul sets up for the Vikings, because the last one looked promising.
So Jamie Field there in lock, another player playing out of position, normally a back row. Really important role in that maul. Does that middle jumper. See Fanukitau straight in the side and unforced penalty there. Fanukitau just got to keep his discipline there, Rossi, doesn't he?
Yeah, he gets a bit excited sometimes.
Trying to make an impact, obviously, is JP Fanukitau, but
just a bit too much.
I want to be careful not giving away too many penalties in this area. Talk about Field there in the middle. Really good player, as you see. Field, great take and a good sack at the maul from Gungahlin, but it's still going forward for Vikings. Great spoiling from Gungahlin, and it's a turnover. Huge win there for the Eagles pack. See Tane Atkins laughs off the ground. And someone's buried under there? Who is it? Yeah.
Be one of the Dobsons.
At the bottom of anything in the close exchanges, you'll find a Dobson on this field. Saying Nick Dobson, Tristan Stanley. Double act just got on field as soon as he caught the ball. Straight latched on, did manage to stop it at the source. Did look for a second like Vikings might have got the second shove. But Eagles hold on. Just crabbing slightly. Oh, it's been dropped cold from Hawk. Just over eager to get over the gain line was Matt Hawk. He'd be kicking himself there. Well, Matt Hawk with that one. So big confidence from Jack Evenden, the Colt fly half, coming into first grade, slapping Matt Hawk on the head.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
After that,
you wouldn't get away with that too many times, I think.
Certainly wouldn't want Matt Hawk to notice it was you doing it. Certainly one of the most uncompromising players. I think that's the best way we can describe it.
Yeah, that's it.
Tom, hard-edged, physical, and uncompromising.
You can just see with the type of lines he runs, he's no fear.
And the penalty comes. There's the first creek. Vikings have been doing excellent work so far in those first few scrums, but that time the whistle came. Sione Taylor. It's going to happen, isn't it, Tom? With a loose head switching over to tight head. There's going to be times when he loses his bearings, as we see this ball coming right our way.
That's us. Yep. I think also Ben Pratt coming up through the grades as well. He's going to be put under a little bit of pressure today, but he's held his own so far.
Absolutely, I think that was a perfect example of Sione Taylor having to play slightly out of position, where knee went to deck and just got his bearings. As long as we see Eagles line it, not working at full capacity there, but they do maintain possession. And they'll look to play rather than exit here, will the Eagles? And it's another drop ball from Matt Hawk.
Oh, you won't be happy with that.
And to add insult to the injury, penalty comes for Vikings. So option again now for Tuggeranong, as we see Lenny Katau just letting Matt Hawk know what happened there in the previous play. Nothing but respect between the two big-time centres there. Lenny Katau, such a quiet person off the park, but on the field, as fierce a competitor as they come. Rossi, another one of your teammates at the Brumbies.
Yeah, he loves to get a bit fired up in the centres there. He plays his best when he's fired up, I think, and a bit of aggression in his game. He gets the legs pumping, and he plays some good footy.
Absolutely, and Eagles don't stop them all at source this time, and it's motoring forward now for Vikings. Advantage coming, Alex Small just creeping up offside. Another free shot here for Vikings. Lonergan goes digging. Goes wide now to Ikitau. Puts on footwork, Ikitau, and he goes for the line. Pops off to Suavai, and it's a try. Well, once he was in a bit of space, there it is, Lenny Katau. Quality.
He's hard to stop. And yeah, with his hands and footwork, he's a bit of a juggling act.
Just when he, through that hitch, just gets the defence on their heels slightly and then he goes.
Yeah.
The offload to Suavai was excellent, and fullback did so well to hold on to that ball as well, because it wasn't the perfect pass by Ikitau. So a really good finish from Suavai, who's had his moments in this first half. So chance now for Ryan Lonergan to tie us up here at Nichols, and we'll just take our chance while Ryan Lonergan's lining up this conversion to thank our sponsors, to Griffin Legal, of course, our naming rights sponsors, to Han Superdry, the match of the round sponsors, to O'Neill's, to Rourke Projects and Bar TV, of course, are providing the quality stream every week. Poplars and McDonald's ACT, all our fantastic sponsors. As we see Lonergan. Real chance now for Ryan Lonergan to level this up. Strike is good. It's over, 7-all here at Nichols and Closed Oval. And despite Gungahlin probably having the better of the play here in the first half, Tom, all square.
Yeah, I think Vikings camped them back down in their own half, and they put on a bit of a fight there, but obviously the pressure built and was too much in the end.
Absolutely, and the quality coming eventually from Len Ikitau. Now Angus Allen. It's Vikings going forward once again. Evenden looks up and tries to find a bit of space, but straight up the guts to Garner. Gives it to Walker, and he looks to test Langtree again. Clean work from the right winger, and he's got heaps of time to swing a boot at that. Decent gain, but a line out for the Eagles. Certainly there was a good atmosphere building here, but just after that try seems to have quieting things down here at the nest. Say Eagles playing a really good first half of footy, but Vikings coming back into the game now. So Eagles will want to get back on the attack, and they go to that maul again. It's another really good set from Marco Caputo's men. Lives and breathes this stuff, doesn't Marco Caputo, the head coach here? Set piece, so important to Brumby number 2. But on that occasion, well spoiled by Vikings, so another win there for Tuggeranong.
Yeah, just about Marco loving set piece. Yeah, he loves getting the boys in early on a Thursday afternoon to, try perfect set piece, whether that's 50 scrums or 30,000 lineouts. He loves getting in and amongst it. But yeah, he doesn't like it when reps go down though. He gets pretty filthy when scrum goes down or something like that. So
someone who really drives quality and standards, and
yeah,
it's been no surprise to the competition that Eagles have been one of the most hard-nosed, well-drilled sides, fit, strong in the Jonathan Cup this year, with Marco Caputo taking over.
Yeah, I think he's just come in this year with different standards from the last couple of years, and I think more of a winning mindset rather than accepting what we've done in the last couple of years has been good enough.
It was almost like the timing was right when Marco took over, because the culture of Gungahlin seemed to be building over the last couple of years, and when Marco came in, given that big run the Eagles went on last year, it seemed to be just the time for them to push forward, and they certainly have. In a decent spot here so far, but could be down if Suavai can find Revuvu. One-on-one with Toole. Gives it inside to Ikitau.
Good finish.
What a try from the Vikings. So dangerous with ball in hand when they get a bit of space. And Suavai, well, we said it was going to be a challenge for Ernest Suavai playing fullback, but we see the benefit of playing the attacking threat there at fullback. Gets a bit of space, too fast, and a good pass from Revuvu inside to Ikitau as well.
He did show a bit of pace to get around Luke Duffy there through the centres. And, something that Tuggeranong is very good at is scoring points from long range and, constantly backing up. You see Lenny Ikitau backing up through the middle there.
Good work, Viking.
All of a sudden now, Eagles underneath their sticks once again, having only just given away the first try. Lonergan. He certainly struck the first one sweetly, and not too much change here either.
He doesn't
for
miss
Ryan Lonergan.
He doesn't miss too many.
Just quietly, Jack Evanen's been really good in this last 15 minutes too, coming in at fly half.
Yeah.
Spoke to a few guys at Vikings about what Jack Evenen would bring to the side, as we see Lonergan didn't hit that quite as well, but the result is the same, 14-7. Just approaching the 30-minute mark here at Nichols enclosed, and Vikings take their first lead of the day. Just back to Jack Evenen. Yeah, we spoke to Vikings guys, and they just said he wouldn't try to overplay his hand, that he was going to be a guy who would spread the ball and look to get it to the attacking weapons outside him, and we've seen that. Spread that ball so well to Suavai. And once he was in a bit of space there in a Suavai, really seems like he stepped up as a guy who can lead this side in the absence of a couple of those names. As an advantage comes for Vikings with Gerzikowski.
Yeah, it's always going to be hard for a young 10 as he takes the ball up there. It's going to be hard for a young 10 to step in and run the show. So I think he's got some good heads around him. Isaac Thompson not playing today, but obviously part of the club. And Ryan, Lenny and Ernest out the back as well. They'll talk him through the process, and he's been playing well today. So looking forward to see what he's got the rest of the game.
You can just see Jack Evenen right there, took that big hit up there, but as soon as he was up on his feet, barking orders, getting the messages in for the next attack. So really interesting to see just the depth of Vikings, and of course such an important thing for any side in the Griffin Legal John Oden Cup to have that depth.
Yeah.
So many players that Vikings can call upon. You think about how they're playing. It's one of these things where Vikings are in third right now, but they're kind of lurking at third. They're still the premier side in this competition as champions. You think of like Noel Alessio to come back into this side, Thompson, all those guys, Darcy Swain, they're so dangerous.
I think at the moment they're probably the sleeping giant in the comp. They're going to come home with a clean pair of heels and a pretty good finish to the season, I think. So,
especially when they get those names back in there and they can work them back in. But even with the 15 that's out there today, we're seeing just how deadly they can be. And again, Gungahlin, for large parts of this first half, have been playing at least the more intelligent rugby. But Vikings now with it, Langtree looking to, instead of space, he found JP Fanukitau. But with a chance now, Tom, to push this with a try here to go into the breakers field. Makes a half break. Still going, he bumps it off to right. Lonergan jumps out to Ravuvu, bumps it off to Otago, and it's a try. The interplay from Vikings once again. Absolutely brilliant from all players involved there. Field to Lonergan. Lonergan just bumped off to Ravuvu, and another good offload from Ravuvu. The finish from Otago, too strong.
Silky hands from Ravuvu. And Tommy Watergo moved from Easties during the season.
Absolutely, he was at the Vikings before he moved to East, but midway through the season, back into Vikings and back into the first grade side, and on the score sheet. So once again, in as much time nearly as it took to add the second, the third comes for Vikings, and I want to be careful here at Gungahlin that they don't ship another one before half-time and find themselves... It's just been like a three-punch combo knockout here. Like, it's not like the Vikings have been building pressure, and then the tries come. Since they did that for the first try, it's just been bang, bang, two quick tries. So
yeah, and
you could sometimes you could be standing there thinking, oh no, we're not actually doing anything wrong here, boys. Let's just settle things down. But if you don't change anything, 21-7 could become 28, can become 35, and suddenly you find yourself out of the game and you didn't even know you were struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. And I reckon last time we were here at the Nest playing the Vikings, it was the tables were turned. We put on a couple of points like that, but a good side like the Vikings, they crawled their way back, and if there were another few minutes in that game, momentum might have swung their way.
Yeah, you talk about those two games. Of course, round one was incredible. It was one of the best games you'd ever seen in the Griffin Legal John O'Dane Cup, with Eagles surviving, being down to 14 for the last 20 minutes, down on the score sheet, and they came back to win that game.
Yeah.
And then you think, moving into round 6, then it was kind of the opposite way around, as you said.
Yeah, that's it.
But I think those two victories just showed the growth in Eagles to be in close contests and come out away with victory. But for Vikings, the difference in that side to the side that's been playing over the last 5 weeks, it's like chalk and cheese. They're such a more together and seem to be more just in tune with each other, because they definitely there was so much chopping and changing from the side that won the title, and they lost so many guys to injuries. You're seeing now that the guys that had to form those combinations, the rights, the fields, as we see Levi Shaw get Gungahlin going the right way. Oh, big shot there from Sione Taylor. Tight head on tight head violence there, Tom Ross. We don't like to see that.
Why not?
Got to look out for each other, tight heads. Certainly one for the spectators, the two big boppers meeting each other in the middle there, but Vikings still attacking, and Taylor, he was hunting another there with Sione Taylor in midfield.
He likes that. He likes looming for big hits. You might see a couple more coming his way.
Brilliant turnover from Vikings again. Vikings defence, since leaking that first try, has been absolutely excellent, and Evan whips wide to Ikitau. He's got a few forwards on his front of him here. Ikitau puts the footwork on. Ball goes to deck. Gee, I reckon when Ikitau looked up and he saw Levi Shaw in front of him, he started licking his chops there. Todd Ross, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Any time an outside back sees a tied forward, back end of halves, they start chomping at the bit to get around them.
So you played a lot of footy with Ryan Lonergan, played a fair amount of footy with Len Ikitau at this stage as well. Tommy, what's been a difference in him this year? Because definitely feels like he's growing into himself as a player. He's always been, people have known he's very talented, but he seems to be backing himself recently.
Well, he's certainly matured over the year. I think being at the Brums, he's learnt from guys like Kurandrani and even Nero Simone playing outside him as well. But yeah, he's certainly matured over the year. He's a bit more confident in himself, and
that debut would have given him heaps of confidence as well.
Absolutely.
Hey, because he was so good that night for Brumbies against the Blues, and kind of showed, I think, as we see the pressure come on from Vikings. But Brody Ingram once again saying, Sione Taylor dropping that knee. He's spotted that, and he's pinging Taylor again for that. Yeah, just back to Ikitau. He kind of showed Super Rugby what people around Canberra would have known about Len Ikitau. The footwork, the defence, I think, is a thing about Len Ikitau that people don't really talk about.
Yeah.
Is the defensive work that he puts in.
Yes, absolutely. And you saw a lot of that through the NRC campaign last year. I remember playing that Brisbane City game, and
he was the best player in the round that week.
Absolutely, and just tearing blokes to shreds. And I think he even showed up Quade Cooper a couple of times, so he was pretty happy with that.
I would imagine, as we see Eagles put a bit of trickery on here, get Corey Till down the left hand edge. Vikings did well to gather the defences to stop Till, but still a massive opportunity now for Gungahlin. Not heaps of time left on the clock here in the first half. Minutes. Just feel if the Eagles can add a second score.
They definitely
much
need,
happier going into the sheds at half-time.
Yeah, definitely need some points here.
Shaw goes on his own, but the support comes after a good leg drive from Levi Shaw. Stanley knows his way to the try line as well. Does Tristan Stanley. Tane Atkins for the line. Penalty comes. Another penalty against Sione Taylor, this time offside. And the call comes in straight away. No mistaking that, Alex Small.
That would have been a Dobbo special, that one.
But it was the right decision with Eagles certainly getting the advantage at scrum time. And I mean, perhaps thinking as well, could they, you wouldn't want to say it, but a couple of more penalties here. You're thinking penalty try, yellow card. You could be playing the first 10 minutes of the second half down to 14. These are the things you think about in big games like this.
Absolutely. Well, definitely with the scrum time, it's been 50-50, I'd say, at the moment. But you feel like something's going to crack, and maybe this scrum, who sees?
You certainly feel at scrum time sometimes that if the referee gets his eye to one side, that's just how he'll view it. But much better there from Vikings, standing up tall. Towler and Pratt. Ikitau, ball pops out, but Ikitau mops it up well. Inches short now are the Eagles. Toole. Space out wide for Walker. Gets rid of field, but Langtree up to the task. There was space, but not the numbers for Eagles that time as Stanley tries to get them moving the right way, but Watego's over the ball. Quick pick and drive. It's been ripped clean by Ryan Lonergan. And that's half time. Another piece of brilliant defence from Tuggeranong Vikings. The captain coming up big there, right on the stroke at half time. Just stripped the ball straight out of Fanukitau's hands.
Yeah, and JP's good for a couple of those little pick and drive hit ups. But yeah, I think Eagles just got a bit impatient there and didn't stick to their processes, and obviously Vikings came up trump in that situation.
Absolutely, and well, that's us for the first half here. It's been a fascinating game of rugby with Eagles starting off the sharper of the two, Corey Toole, getting things going for the Eagles, but ever since the scoring has come from Vikings. Ernest Suavai, of course, got the first. Ikitau turn provider to score for the second, and it was Thomas Watego who added the third. Cracking game of rugby. Tough to know how it's going to go in the second half, Tom.
I think definitely Eagles will come out firing, but you just got to think that 2 tries, that's a fair head start coming into a pretty big second half for them.
Say our PTP, True Fit and Hill man of the match. Who are some of the candidates out there at the moment who are putting their hand up? Definitely looking on that Viking side. Len Ikitau's been excellent there in the Suavai.
Yep, but I'm a sucker for a front row, so I'd have to say Sione Taylor puts his hand up with some pretty good defence, and he's been in and around the mix, so he's putting his hand up.
And he's doing his role as best as he can, absolutely. Well, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back for the second half of this Hans Super Dry match of the round in the Griffin Legal John O'Dent Cup. 21-7 Vikings at the break. Good afternoon and welcome back to Nichols Enclosed Oval, where we've got a fascinating contest here in this second half of the Hahn Superdry match of the round in the Griffin Legal John O'Dent Cup between the Gungahlin Eagles and the Tuggeranong Vikings, the defending champions. 21-7 to the good, away to one of the best sides in this comp this year, the Gungahlin Eagles. So a bit of a, I wouldn't say a mountain to climb for Gungahlin Eagles, but certainly with their work cut out for them, especially in this next 10, next score being crucial in this one, 21-7. As I said, I'm joined in the commentary stand by Brumby's prop, and as I said, for this purpose, a true Gungahlin man, Tom Ross. Rossi, what did you think about that first half as we see Isaac Walker get things underway?
It was interesting. I think, the Eagles showed a lot of potential early on, but I think, once there are a couple of tired bodies out there, Vikings really turned the screws late in that second half.
Using their quality outside backs,
Yeah,
as I said,
absolutely.
with those tired bodies, the likes of Lenny Cattell, Ernest Tuvai, who got on the score sheet, as well as Thomas Wattego. It was Eagles outside backs. We see Simon Anu bump one up to get Eagles over the halfway line. Thomas Wattego got the third try for Vikings. Corey Toole getting the Eagles' lone score early on in the piece. So a lot of work to do for both sides, but certainly Eagles looking the more likely so far in this second half, getting things going with ball in hand. What's some of the keys for the Eagles in this second half? Tom, I thought when they kept the ball in that first half, they certainly looked good.
Yeah, and definitely the back end of that half, you saw Vikings hold a lot of their footy and turned into points. So I think earlier I referred to them being patient, just sticking to their jobs, and that's probably why they didn't get the points before halftime. So bit of a scuffle here.
Absolutely, probably lost a bit of patience. Did Eagles, as we see. Going to be a conversation here. Didn't quite see what happened there. I was just focusing on the ball. Tom, certainly seemed to be Joe Langtree and Simon Anu having a few words. We'll listen in to Brody Ingram.
On the 8. Brody, what I've seen, there's 14 red has come through for the clean out. Yep. Okay, I don't have any issue with that. No. After the clean out, as 8 stood up, he swung an arm and hit the player in that shoulder. I'm not clear if it hit the head. I'm sure it hit the shoulder. So, okay. I'm going to put it in the bin there. I'm thinking him in the head. I'm thinking, I didn't have clear contact with the head. What I had was contact with the shoulder. Yep, no, so number 8. Okay. Number 8.
Simon Anu.
This could be costly.
Seems to be escaping red.
So he cleared you out, which is totally fine, but then you had a swing and then it's hit him in the shoulder, okay? So he's going to go in the bin. I don't need him to react after there's been a clean out, okay? Hey.
Simon Anu goes to the naughty chair for 10 minutes, as he said. I don't think he was aiming at Joe Langtree's shoulder, Tom. So possibly got away with one there, Simon Anu.
Well, I definitely missed it, so...
yeah, you wouldn't comment. You wouldn't have any comment there.
No, I'd take the response from the ref as being correct.
Absolutely. No, the call definitely correct from Brady Ingram. Saying Simon Anu.
Pretty crucial just coming out after half time.
Especially when it was just after a massive carry from the number 8. So a massive loss, and that's a coach killer, isn't it, Tom, when you lose a guy for 10 minutes now for something just ill-discipline.
Yeah, and they were starting to get on the front foot there a bit in attack, but...
Certainly seems to have given Vikings another lease of life here in this second half, woken them up as Ikatau goes hunting for a bit of space. Never held by Shaw, and he keeps going, does Lenny Cattell, and he's still going.
That leg drive.
Lonergan jumps out to Evanen. He finds a little bit of space, does Jack Evanen.
He's not afraid to run today, which is good from a 10.
Oh, Trey Henderson bumps off one, and he's in. Too strong from Trey Henderson. And what a massive score that could be. Player in the bin, now down. Another try, Gungahlin Eagles. This one just slipping away, it seems, at the moment. Rossi, that's, as you said, the momentum was building the right way. Bit of ill discipline. They go down the other end and score. Clinical work, though, you'd have to say, by the visitors.
They're too good a side to give field position and time with footy. I mean, Trey Henderson, he's been working hard to get a spot back in the first grade side, and it's good to see him running out there today.
So one of those guys that everyone knows is a good player. When you've got the likes of Jordan Jackson-Hope, Noah Alessio in the club, you're not always going to be sure of your spot. So I'm really impressed with him coming in and sticking to his task.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's been impressive, you know, with some of the hit-ups. And from what I recall, he got one of the best players in the round earlier in the year.
He's certainly a guy that gives Vikings a different edge. They're wearing 12s. We see Lonergan can't find the range that time. Another good strike from Ryan Lonergan. So something for Eagles to cling on to there. Just 3 scores in this one. But absolutely, Trey Henderson, as I said, Tom, maybe just gives Vikings like a little bit of a different point of attack than your Lalesios and Jackson Hopes, who are more of that second playing 12.
Yeah.
He's more of that physical type, and it certainly seems to fit their stile. And
what you might see later in the game is rather than hitting the Suavais and Ikataus out the back, you might see Trey hitting those hard lines up front.
Well, we've seen it in the second half with Henderson getting that try, set up the wide ball, and then the counter punch comes with Henderson hitting that line and scoring what was an excellent try in the end. Sparked by Len Ikatau, has to be said again. His centre partner there. And now, next score becomes even more crucial. Coming out of the half, Eagles needed to be the first on the board. They weren't, but still so much football to be played here. We've seen on a number of occasions this mental toughness this Eagles side has.
They need a bit of spark here, bit of energy.
Certainly feels like something they've been getting. You know, the bad bounce of the balls, we see them get a positive one, and now they can attack Kotz in a bit of space. Haven't said his name much since he had that half chance in the first half, Jamie Kotz. Well held by Alex Small and gets go for it. Another name we just haven't said enough for Gungahlin in this game. Hawk goes wide to Garner, 2-on-2 here with Garner. Shows on the inside and play on is the call. Corey Toole leaves Jack Wright on the floor, and Corey Toole's now in a bit of space.
Oh,
Seemed to be looking for contact at Corey Toole's receive for Nuki Tao. Meet the pass.
he's over.
It's a try. Well, we said they needed a bit of spark, Rossi, and they got it through Corey Toole. And what about the finish from Big JP for Nuki Tao?
Well, it's good to see Corey Toole in a bit of space. He's electric with his speed, and you know, he got caught in a bit of trouble there. And nice little offload and out the back to JP, and he's very hard to stop from close range, JP.
When he's moving that quick too, met the ball at pace. Is that the score that Eagles need? Just creep back into this game with the conversion to come. 26-12 now. Still a man down with Simon Anu in the bin, but if you can just stay with parity with that extra player away for 10 minutes, it'd be a massive win. We see there when they spread the ball wide, dangerous. And getting Corey Toole off his wing and getting into play,
Well,
so important.
I think that's probably one thing Jamie Kotz hasn't done enough of today is Corey's actually gone looking for a bit of work, and even Garner at the back. But I'd like to see a bit more from Kotz, you know, finding a bit of work around the rucks and, you know, sniffing for the ball up the middle.
Especially because with Jamie Kotz's footwork in close contact, if he finds a lazy forward in and around those rucks, could be away. So I have to agree with you. Maybe a message that could be get gotten onto the park for Eagles, but it's a great conversion from Isaac Walker. And it's game on here now at Nichols, enclosed. It's a really important score, very important for Eagles to get the next score, and they did. And they got it quick. Hawk looks to kick early, giving Suavai perfect chance to counter-attack here.
Oh, good contact.
Really good contact, good 1-2 tackle from Hawk and Small, but advantage coming now for Eagles. Pratt looks for contact. Lonergan gets the big forwards coming around the corner, but chooses to snipe himself. Advantage over now, with Tago bumping off 1 or 2. Everton just managed to slip that ball to Angus Allen, gets it wide to Ravuvu. Eagles do well to hold Ravuvu, but it's still on now for Vikings.
Oh,
Nothing happening there, so we go back for a penalty, and we'll have another chat from Brody Ingram. Certainly seems to want to have a chat to Captain Alex Small. Penalties in the red zone piling up now for Gungahlin.
So we've had an advantage for you offside there, but it's been over. And we had another one before for 12 not rolling, and then we've had a no-arm tackle. That's 3 quick ones in a row. That's 3 quick ones in a row. The next one is going to go to the bin here. Back to your comments here. You're the captain of the team. I don't need your... No. I don't need comments like that from your side.
You
Keep
have,
your comments to yourself. Alex, no. Alex, that's it. Keep your comments to yourself.
Yeah, just hearing Alex Small there took exception to a big clear out from Sione Taylor, I think, but message coming from the referee to keep the lips sealed and focus on the football, and they'll have to now. Eagles with a line out for Vikings deep in Gungahlin territory.
there's a big play here.
It's another really good response from Vikings, I have to say. Tom, after leaking the try, straight back on attack. Their leaders really stepping up, and here's Ravuvu. Good contact from Walker in defence, but the winger still gets to go forward. And here's Taylor. Field, hands up, wants the ball wide. Everton shapes to go and finds Dobson, and it's a try. Big reward there for Jack Everton. He's been excellent all day, has the Vikings fly half, and he just found Nick Dobson. One-on-one tackle. Pumped twice did Everton and used the footwork and just tripped over in the line in the end.
Well, as you said, Ryan, he has been playing well today, and a little bit of a reward for his efforts.
I think there with a guy like that who's been shifting the ball really well. Dobson might have got caught on his heels there, thinking Everton was just going to spray wide.
Yeah,
on that occasion, pumped and went.
I think they were a bit short on the fold there, and you know, a bit of rush, bit of a rush there at the end. But yeah, big fella coming around the corner. Once you get them flat-footed, it's always going to be back on the inside.
Absolutely. Vikings showing why they're unbeaten in their last 5.
Jerzakowski's coming off here.
Yeah, massive loss here for Tuggeranong with Luke Jerzakowski coming off the park. Not sure if that's a injury or a scheduled sub. Luke Jerzakowski, of course, coming back into this Vikings side. I think he's been so important in their improvement over the last couple of weeks. Gives them balance there at 7. A real link player after his time in Ireland with Wicklow Rugby Club. Just see Lenny Kitao down in back play.
Came down pretty awkwardly.
Yeah, just a half eye on Lenny Kitao there as play continues. So as we stand here currently, all square in the player count numbers. So Trey Henderson brings it back into the ruck.
I think Len's just a bit winded.
Absolutely went up for that ball and just got caught, didn't he, Lenny Kitao? You see this ball trickle down, running and running, and will bring it all the way back. So an opportunity now for Gungahlin. Seawall.
It's always going to run down that little hill. You saw Isaac Walker in the first half put up a big kick, and it's just going to roll down that corner of the field.
So you've got to be aware of it when you play here at Nichols.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pockets of hard ground, and the wind certainly starting to build up as well. You see a bit of attention here to Lenny Katau. Time back on. First of three home matches in a row here at Nichols for Eagles. Charity round coming up in a couple of weeks. Special jerseys to be worn.
Yep.
And a major function as well. Just keep an eye out on the Gungahlin Eagles Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Shout out Trent Pollard, the general manager here at Gungahlin Eagles. Sorting us out with a few jackets just in case the rain comes down. It's held off so far. First in the commentary stands, as you see, Eagles pouring down the pressure on that Viking scrum.
I would have been frustrated they didn't keep that in.
Absolutely, they did get the advantage call out of it. As you see, Cott's lurking on that right hand wing. If the bounce is right for Jamie Cotts, could have been.
Oh, they come back for
little opportunity there. Good vision from Walker, sensing there might have been half a gap out there for Jamie Cotts, but we come back for the penalty. Everyone to a man for Eagles, pointing to that corner. 33-14. Score now, and there's plenty of time, but you get to a stage in this game, Tom, where eventually time will run out. You've got to score reasonably quick here if you're Eagles, you'd have to say.
They were in a similar position a couple of weeks back against Royals. They got up probably 3 tries more than we would have liked, and started to claw our way back, but left too many points on the board for them.
As much as I say they've got to score quick, still a lot of time on the clock.
Absolutely.
But you just sense, given that they're still a player down, the fact that they've been much improved in this period is a big sign for them. But another ball to Matt Hawke goes to deck. Probably not his fault, that one, as we see acres of space there for Vikings on the counter. Ikatau. Possibly should have released to his support. Was a good tackle in there. But Vikings turning defence into attack. It's been the staple of their game here today, trusting their defence and then releasing an attack. And Sam Thomas throws a big dummy and goes forward. There's Joy's on for Gerzikowski. Penalty comes. Just wonder what the score as it is with Ryan Lonergan. Certainly capable from this distance. They might think shot here.
What's that? 19 points ahead. Yeah, that'll put him.
Pushes out to beyond 3 converted. It's
3. Yeah.
The only thing you would say if you were advising, I don't think you'd be likely to be advising the Vikings at this stage, no. Rossi, but this will bring the Eagles an extra minute closer. As you say, I think they're back to full complement now with Simon Anu out there. So I was about to say they'd be closer to being back to full complement, but as it is, they are, in fact.
I think he snuck on after the try.
Simon Anu, sneaky Simon Anu. He'll want to put a big impact in because he'll know that he certainly hasn't cost them much on the score board, Simon Anu, but the pressure that Eagles were building certainly dissipated when he went off for that yellow card just after we got back underway at Nichols. There's a swirling wind here at the Eagles' nest, but Ryan Lonergan lining up a crucial kick in this game. Struck it well, but it seems to have just drifted with that wind past the right-hand post, so let off there for Eagles, but again, Vikings playing all the rugby in the right areas. Old multi-ball situation. could be a global rapid rugby rule, that one, Rossi.
Yeah, no one would see that coming.
Multi-ball.
Yeah.
Happened to my beloved Irish side many years ago in the Six Nations. Not that I'm dirty about it. Ball went into touch. Mike Phillips, new ball, went quick, scored a try. As I said, I don't remember it. As you see, Eagles
don't hold a grudge, do you?
never hold. We're not known for holding grudges. You see, Vikings spread the ball, but that's Garner. Picks off Evenden. Oh, it was beautiful read from Dan Garner. And then routine 7 for Gungahlin. Those are the moments, Rossi.
That could be the one that sparks the boys back up.
Well, I'll tell you what, should be glad that this commentary stand isn't on film, because Tom Ross just gave out the biggest fist pump you'd ever see when Dan Garner popped up with that ball.
Not biased at all.
But it's a big moment in this game, isn't it, Tom?
Absolutely.
Like, after you think could have been down to 22 points with the kick from Lonergan, go up the other end. Nothing really doing, but it was a perfect read from Garner. Such a smart footballer, Dan Garner, an experienced player, and a fly half as well. And he read Evenden like a book there.
And he's been unlucky to not be playing a lot of first grade over the last year or so.
Similar to Trey Henderson in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been absolutely killing it in second grade, and with the likes of Gillard and Mack coming into the side, he's almost been left out as such. But with both of them not here today, he gets given the chance, and he's actually playing some good footy.
So it's something we haven't really touched on much in this game, but the absence of Josh Gillard and Mac Hansen, the first time this year Eagles have been without both of those, and kind of wondered pre-game where the creativity might come for the Eagles side. Garner stepping up big for his side there, a perfect read.
And I think Isaac Walker's really got to step up here, march the troops around, and he can do all of it with his kicking, as we see here. Oh,
didn't quite have the range. Put the
mocker on him, didn't I?
Welcome to the club, Rossi.
Yeah. The commentator's curse.
Curse to the commentator. It would seem to be the right option for Walker, but again,
it's that wind.
Too many wheat bix this morning.
Game on here in the net. Come on, you Eagles!
Eagles look to G up. Big crowd here below. Thomas. You won't have a harder throw here today, Sam Thomas. Just got to find his target. It wasn't pretty. And it wasn't straight either. And Eagles look to launch a counter-attack here and a comeback into this game. Vikings on balance. Since that first half of the first half have been the better side here today, but this Eagles side do not give up. And for the Vikings, they've just got to settle things if they can, but
here we go.
Finucane Town gives to Atkins, full work from Atkins!
Oh, good tackle from Ernest.
The tip from Suavai could have saved them a try. The Eagles are still on the attack here now. Turnover is good, and Vikings go to the counter-attack. Wattago slips out with one. Gives Dicky Tau. Little grabber kick goes in behind, and Toole will have to mop up. Watch out as Corey Toole goes on the counter-attack. Been held up there, Toole, but does managed to get to ground, and that Vikings defensive line is strong again. Time and again, Vikings have stood up in defence and turned it into a counter-attack. So Stanley take their jaws off the ball. Garner, not a lot of options here for Garner, so he puts the footwork on. Told to leave it, and it's good discipline from Vikings. Pushing the Eagles back further and further. Shaw gives off to Dobson.
Space out wide.
Managed to get the offload, and there is space out wide if they can find it. Hawk spreads to Kotz. Goes in and out, does Kotz, and tries to get them going forward. Atkins gives to Walker, and as you said, Rossi just marshalling his forwards around there now. Definitely sent a up in intensity from the Eagles, but that one goes to deck. Right option from Walker, the pass was good. Dobson just thought about the second job.
Yeah, a bit filthy with that one. Running the right hole too, and
well, that's what it was. He saw the hole and forgot about.
Eyes lit up.
Eyes lit up. Forgot about the first job, as they say.
Bit of white line fever.
White line fever, you reckon?
Yeah.
Inside his own.
Well,
he can shift. Ray Dobson did famously win the front row, well, the props runoff here at Gungahlin just over a year ago, so certainly backs himself amongst the front rows. I don't know if it was white line fever. I think Max Reviva would have fancied himself.
I've seen weirder things out here at the nest.
He'll get down to his bread and butter here. It's a big scrum for Ray Dobson and the Eagles. If they can get some pressure on him, they certainly do. But that ball comes out brilliant from Vikings to manage to get that ball out. It looked like play might continue, but the call comes in eventually. Well, that's how you make up for it, Ray Dobson.
Absolutely.
No one better in the John O'Dane Cup, the Griffin Legal John O'Dane Cup, than Ray Dobson.
They'll be looking to shift a bit of momentum their way with set piece here, Eagles.
Certainly fit. There hasn't, as much as it's been a talking point because of Sione Taylor, because of Pratt having to step up, there hasn't been many scrums, and it hasn't really affected Vikings. It might have been a thing that they would have looked at pre-game and gone, that's somewhere where we've really got to dig in, and they have done.
Yeah, they've been impressive today.
They certainly haven't been dominant. Eagles have definitely had the upper hand, but it's the fact that Eagles have shown a couple of times this season that they can beat you with their scrum. Beat Queanbeyan with the scrum, beat West with scrum.
They turned it around there, Tuggeranong.
Certainly did. Got a good shove on. Mountainous work in the tight stuff from Pratt and from Taylor. Can't mention enough Ben Pratt still out there running. So you see Ali Nagahi on in the centres. He can certainly score from anywhere, can Ali Nagahi. Corey Toole tested Joe Langtree one-on-one, but the Vikings winger was up to the test. Counter attack from Vikings, but adjudged to have come in the side.
Might have been a bit hard done by there, Thomas, but either way, we'll take the penalty.
Yeah, it certainly seemed that he just timed that really well, but perhaps his angle just slightly off cue.
Right off the bonnet of my mum's car there. Beautiful.
Well, you're parking the A1 parking here at Nichols. You take your chances.
That serves all right.
That's the coach's spot there normally. Mrs. Ross knowing she's a hallowed figure around here. Finucchi Tau. Big carry from JP Finucchi Tau. He's been much better in this second half, more involved than Ray Dobson. Another drop ball, and bit of frustration there from, certainly seemed to be from Ray Dobson there. Alex Small, great captaincy there from Small. Just make sure that nothing comes of that. The little moments starting to build up against the Eagles and Vikings. Just that defensive work. Time and again, they have stood tall in this game. So impressive. Down so many players, so many different combinations out there, and they've just done the hard stuff so well. Has to be said, Rossi, I know it's probably tough for you to say, but as you see the penalty come for Gungahlin.
Sione again.
Down to the knees. Chat comes from Brody Ingram here.
About this as a penalty kick. So the next one, you're going to go on the warning. So next one he goes down, it's going to be a yellow card, okay?
Message couldn't be any clearer there from referee Brody Ingram. Sione Taylor, a couple of penalties for the same thing. Vikings tight head doing a job at tight head for his club, Sione Taylor. But yeah, as we said, Tom, just when the back's against the wall, often the thing you've got to do is to just front up in defence and be hard to beat, and that's what they've done today. Tuggeranong.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think Eagles have probably thrown as much as they would have liked at them, but in respect to Tuggeranong, they've defended and fronted up well.
As has this young man, Jack Everton. Pulled the strings of fly half coming in for Isaac Thompson. Not an easy job stepping up into that position, as we see Dan Garner, another one who stepped up well for his side. A chip kick could have certainly given them something there had the bounce been right, but they mop up well, and again, defense into attack, but on this occasion, too much playing, and certainly seem to have be playing that ball on the deck. Brody Ingram was unsighted, but call had to come from the AR, and it does.
Just got caught at the bottom there, Jamie Field. Good intent, but got caught there.
To set up this maul, Gungahlin will quickly thank our sponsors once again. Han Superdry, Match of the Round sponsors, Griffin Legal, our naming rights sponsors, PTP and Truefit Hill, man of the match sponsors. Plenty of candidates out there from both sides. O'Neill's, Poplars, McDonald's, ACT, all our fantastic sponsors who make this stream possible, our great competition possible. Big moment in this game as Stanley goes hunting for the ball, and if they can get the set right, Eagles. It's been taken down at source. Walker leaves it up for Gungahlin, and he's too big to stop there. Too strong, too quick. Big try for the Gungahlin Eagles. Well, we talked him up a little bit earlier, Tom. Such a talented young player.
Yeah, absolutely. And for a big fella, he's got decent footwork, and yeah, very hard to stop.
He can shift too.
Yeah.
He's rapid. Ali Nahi, and a couple of more experienced players there keeping him out of a first grade start for the moment. But when he's on his straps, one of the most exciting players in the comp.
And it's a good bit of injection to have off the bench. You know, in previous weeks, the Eagles haven't even looked to their bench for any assistance, but no, it's good to see that boys are ready to step up when given the chance.
Conversion is good. Thought he kept the ball was a little bit close to the uprights there for Walker. Was certainly playing with fate there a little bit, but just over 10 minutes to play now. Looked like he made a bit of a mistake there, Ali Nahi, but as it is, ball's gone all the way dead. So we'll come back for a scrum, and Eagles obviously certainly got the upper hand in that exchange, so another chance now. And with the score at 28-33, game on with 10 minutes to play here.
It's going to be tight.
It certainly is, and it now at least feels for Gungahlin that they don't have to score straight away. They can play the correct footy if they do get caught down, Walker can make them play in the right areas. They don't have to force anything because they're only one score behind because of this great work they've put in. For Vikings, Rossi, if the situation was on the other foot, what would you be saying to your blokes out there? Would it just be to just settle things and get back to what we were doing before?
Yeah, and not try to be too fancy in attack. You know, at the same time, you don't want to shut up shop.
You want to keep playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of contradict what I just said there, but I think
No, absolutely. You don't want to throw a speculative pass, but you certainly don't want to, keep the ball in the corner, as they'd say.
Yeah, that's it. And they're that type of side that they won't give up, and neither will the Eagles.
Certainly not the Eagles, and off that scrum penalty, they've just marched their way down to the Vikings 22. You can just see the Eagles, plenty of energy still. Garner somehow holds on. Hear the call from the touchline to get up. Vikings want the call, but told to release. Looked like they might have been hard done by there. Walker spreads to Hawk. Hawk's been much improved in this second half. Kotz puts the ball on the floor. Does Kotz. Tough one for Revuva to take. And Eagles hold on to possession.
Wow.
Maybe not the perfect option, Kotz, but he made the best of it as Fanuki Tau. Just look at the work from Nick Dobson there, the tight end. Still going. Walker spreads to Hawk.
Short down this side.
Gives it to Kotz. Try! All square and Nichols over. What a game we've got here in the hard Super Dry match of the round. Grandstand finish to come.
Kick to
what a
come
try.
From the sideline.
Well, it just looked like they were working through the phases, and all of a sudden it burst open. And Matt Hawke, we said just before, his influence has been growing, and he gave the perfect pill to Kotz, and Kotz knows exactly what to do when you give him a bit of space out wide.
Yeah, he's been waiting for an opportunity to inject himself into the game, Kotz, but he definitely took that opportunity with both hands.
He's that type of confidence player, isn't he, Jamie Kotz?
Yeah, absolutely.
He might be quiet in the game, might not get the service he wants, but that doesn't matter. When he gets his chance, he'll take it and he'll be confident he can do it.
Yeah,
so we see Eagles crowd getting into the game. Vikings.
Big kick here.
Still in this game, Tuggeranong. Eagles have just crept into this game slowly but surely. And now with Walker, hits it well. Where will it end up? Just to the left, so all square here at Nichols Enclosed Oval. Tuggeranong still got plenty of energy in their legs. Eagles clearly G'd up after this grandstand finish, all to play for with 10 to go.
Good hit up. Oh, he's through.
Nahi!
Ryan straight on the ball there.
Lonigan,
got lucky there.
He was close there, Lonigan. Ali Nahi.
Here's a bit of energy from the Eagles.
One score and a massive break for Ali Nahi in this game. It's sure the physical difference in this Eagles side in the last 10 minutes. Every one of them hungry for work. Dobson straight back to his feet looking for more work as Taylor puts in a good shot.
Oh,
it's been stripped. Brilliant from Vikings. They've been down on the canvas here, Vikings, but they're not out yet.
That's going to roll.
But will that roll?
That's going to roll.
Eagles leaving that ball to go dead, and it does. Heartbreak. Hands on the knees for Vikings players. And we've talked about that corner.
We're going to have to give
three
it a name.
or four times. We'll have to give it a name.
Wow.
3 or 4 times the ball's gone down at that corner. You could just see every Eagles fan at the nest just willing that ball. Suavai, feel bad. have to feel for him because he hit the ball so well. And after the brilliant turnover from Tuggeranong, which they've done all day here today, their defence has been incredible, but for this last period of time where Eagles have just raised and
Yeah, I think
these two sides have got to play every week.
absolutely.
In their 3 meetings, we've got 3 cracking games. And this certainly feels like that round 1 matchup, but will we get the same finish? Because this Tuggeranong side count them out, and you'll be sorry, but I tell you what, this Eagle scrum just keeps building pressure and building pressure. And now, will Vikings be a player down for the rest of this game?
No. We've had the one back there before and we played away from it. You would have gone in the bin there. This one.
Sione Taylor will have to watch on for the rest of this game. Penalty comes for Eagles. If Vikings can hang on here and get a win, it'll be incredible. They look to the sticks, the Eagles.
Right
Interesting
option.
call there. Right option for you, Tom?
Yeah, I think so.
I suppose the question would have been, if you go to the scrum, you get another back rower off and you probably get another penalty. But, as you say, in these close matches, you take your points when you have them. So, Walker with a gilt-edged chance for a kicker of his quality. 22 out on the angle. Calms himself for what could be a match winner. Oh, he sprayed it to the right.
No
Ball
chases.
still in play.
Jeez.
Ravuvu. Can Vikings launch a counter? Joys to Thomas, to Watago. Oh, we said it, Tom. You do not count this Viking side out. Evenden
Not at all.
pumps and goes himself. Lonergan finds Henderson stepping into first receiver and he gives it out wide to Katau. One-on-one is Lenny Katau and he puts on the footwork. Was that the Eagles' opportunity? Gone begging. Joys gets them going forward. Down to 14, but still the full complement of loose forwards. Lonergan with options, but it's Angus Allen. Evenden gives it to Henderson. It's a great tackle there from Tane Atkins.
He's been doing that all day, just chopping them low, doing what he does best.
Always quietly going about his work as Tane Atkins. A remarkable story, Tane Atkins. Recovering from surgery to the...
Oh, it was a mixture of suspension and had a light tear in the MCL, so it's good to see him back.
The turnover comes for the Eagles. Garner. Bit of space in front of Garner, gives it to Toole inside. Tackle's excellent from Watago.
A bit of trouble.
And it's a brilliant piece of work from Vikings. Hold him up and it's a turnover. They've been forced to tackle. And that's the game.
Well, that
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Everyone in the whole ground seemed to think we had plenty more time to play. But as it is, it's full time. And Nichols enclosed.
it's like kissing your sister, that one.
The old Jamie
33 all.
Lannister. The old Jamie Lannister result here at Nichols enclosed.
Wow.
As I say, everyone in the entire crowd just seemed to go silent there when the final whistle went, but maybe that's just a case of we've been absolutely wrapped up in a great game of football here at Nichols enclosed.
Yeah, I think we've gone the 80 minutes and the rugby gods have... Yeah, they couldn't pick a winner today, so both teams share the spoils.
Well, cruel that it had to come down to that Isaac Walker penalty. Had his chance, as it often does, the pressure on that kicker, and he'll kick more of them and he'll have plenty more opportunities to win games for his side. But as it is, 33-all at Nichols Enclosed Oval. What a game. Back and forth affair. Both sides probably feeling they should have come away here with a win. So perhaps a draw, the fair result. Just run you down the scores quickly. Suavai, Ikitau, Otago, Henderson and Evandon for Vikings. Toole, Funukitau, Garner, Nahi for the Eagles. What a day, what a game in the Griffin Legal John O'Dane Cup. Rossi, final thoughts from you, mate. What a game.
Yeah, I think you look both sides. I think Tuggeranong definitely took the first half out of reach from the Eagles, and it took a lot of grit and hard work to claw their way back into the second half. And I think the last 5 minutes you really couldn't tell who had the momentum. It was a real good game of footy and a pleasure to watch.
Certainly after Jamie Cotz's try, we just missed there, the match leveller seemed to be Eagles, and they had that chance, we said, but fair result here in the end. And we'll be back here at Nichols Enclosed next week as the Eagles take on the Owls in the Battle of the Birds at the Nest. That's a wrap for us here, for Rossi, for myself, for Bar TV, for the Hard Superdry match of the round. 33-all Vikings Eagles. Thanks for your company on Bar TV Sports. What a game.